Welcome back to Disco Elysium. When we last left off, we talked to the mysterious, sexy, smoking man on the balcony. He's off again. But he did let us know that his friend, his Sunday friend, wishes to speak to us inside his apartment. I get the impression we also got an ability point while we were doing all this nonsense. But I think I'm going to be saving this one for a rainy day. Something might happen. I would love to put another point in one of those things. Kim? Kim? Oh, there you are. Stay close to me, buddy. Okay. I want to ask Kim a few questions about the Aces High ability. Yes. We have to ask him about... Oh, right, yeah, we had to ask him about his... pants? I mean, his whole getup? There's so many things to do. So little time. Let's go, Kim. Quarterly business magazine. An empty ashtray. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Dates for open lectures at the local university. Hold on a second. Just want to check on... Okay. Oh, everything is cool. Everything is fine. Flyers for underground parties. Samaran conical hat? At the same time, I'm trying to listen to the music in here. This Tony cone-shaped hat looks like a beacon of Samaran wisdom. Its straws sticking up like antennas. Thank God you can't really see people's reactions when they see you strolling around in this incredibly insensible headpiece. But it's so cool! I must wear it. Yes. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. Party dragon silk robe? +1 drama? +1 electrochemistry? Oh my God. There's something I gotta do. Yes. And how about the pants? Need something else. I need new shoes. We only have like 2 pairs of shoes. I need more shoes. Shoes. Gotta have shoes. This is not about fashion. But it is about fashion. I gotta look the part, you know? Oh my God, this is fucking amazing. This is probably one, if not the best, piece we ever gotten. Clothes-wise. An old photo of the same apartment, dated year 01. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. Are you telling me I looted everything? Are you the Sunday friend?
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
Why, thank you.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy.
It looks comfy.
That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Oh, that was it? I want to ask more questions. Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry, who?
The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony? We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
He's ignoring me. You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do you?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends like that.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
He says, raising his hand.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby is crying.
No, listen.
He says again, looking outside.
The Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
What is the price stabilité?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Gotcha.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure, give me one.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Oh, so we're actually working for the moral intern? That doesn't seem so bad.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Turn back to Sunday Friend. Are you a moralist?
But of course.
Am I a moralist?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me?
He is definitely a moralist. I mean, didn't we know that about him?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
Sure you are.
A very moralist answer.
The man nods.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
But what is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
God, the options go all the way down. Moralism is the ideology of foreign occupiers? Jesus. Democracy is a middling sham and a lot of working class under the boot of heel of capital. Yeah, this is definitely moralism. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D. None of the above. Is that moralism?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Yes, everything else is super extreme. It's like I'm living with a bunch of lunatics.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur-la-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur-la-Clé a darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Where's the other option? Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
About Oranje, just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
I don't really want to ask him if he's a bureaucrat. That sounds mean and unnecessary. Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here.
Right, we can see that the building is falling apart from the other side.
You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Enough business, let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
You actually witnessed the lynching.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
This is just the break we've been looking for.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
He eyes the spectacled man near the window, who smiles and spreads his hands. Oh my god. Is it because you did it, Mr. Vildruin? Start from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
He pauses, looking for the right wording.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Not bad, not bad.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men? Women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
The lieutenant flips through his notes. Are you sure at least one of them wasn't a woman?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched the guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
You didn't check your watch?
My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
Thanks. That's all I need.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on. Why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around in this apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
So this is a one-time encounter only. I believe the game is warning me for this one. I think we got everything in here, but there were a few other questions. We wanted to ask him about the rose, we asked him about the bed.
Was there anything else? Of course.
Okay. It just occurred to me... Oh my god, where's the door? Where is the door? No, seriously. Oh, never mind, I found it. It just occurred to me that we don't have enough money to pay for our stay now, and Kim will want to go to bed sooner or later. Is this the door in I can't interact with it. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. Let's talk to Cindy first. Every time I see this fan, I feel like I think Kuno's dad is outside, ready to kill me.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Ooh, this is another thing. So you won't talk about the murder, but maybe you can tell us something about the murder victim's missing armor.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the body.
Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time!
There's a little girl wearing the gloves there?
No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I just told you. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
She looks at you, a little sad suddenly.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
I was hoping we could talk about the art. But I wasn't expecting that she knew about the armor pieces. Wait, did we actually get an armor piece? Or did she just tell... I wasn't really... Oh my lord. I mean, that's big. We need to go south. We have to go south. But I need more money. I need 250. So I can be able to sleep at night. 100 tiny feet scaring beneath the grate. The rats of the city. Not much else to see here. I could talk to Joyce. I have it in my notes. I did ask her about the guy, the lynching. I didn't, however, ask her about the tattoos, and maybe we should do that before we depart. Kim, you can rest assured we're not talking about the pail this time. Don't worry about it.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos? Show her the photo.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet. Observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
Oh, God. Are we telling this to her or the Inland Empire? 'Cause good lord. I've spoken to him. For now the soul is fastened inside his corpse.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
Yes, thankfully I was telling that to the Inland Empire and not her. What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
You wouldn't even know where to start.
That's all for the tattoos. Thanks for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Do we want to talk to her about Evrard Clare? Maybe just briefly? We won't go into details. To be frank, I think I trust her more than Evrard. At least she has been extremely helpful. She's been nice. And she also explained to us what the fuck the Pale is. Evrard, on the other hand, is just a slimy bastard who hides the truth. I believe we talked about pretty much everything else. Let's do this before we depart. By the way, I've talked to Evrard Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I mean, this is the most truthful. I didn't.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually...
She answers her own question.
Corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
I'm not so sure about that.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
It would be, but they're not allied, so...
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. Stop corrupting the horrific necktie.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, Is there anything I can help you with?
What else was there? I'm sure we've missed something. Can I check my notes? Damn it. No, not like this. We have an ability point. Do we have just one? I think we have the one. Or do we have two? How many do we have? Where can I see that? I've been saving one for something here. What do we want? Magnesium-based life form? The drum rock shuffle. I think I like this. Yes. Can I... Oh, unlock. Do it. It will only take 1 hour and 5 minutes. Internalize. Okay. We got that going for us. I love it that you cannot open your inventory whenever you talk to people. But... Hold up. Tasks... Map. We have to open the apartment door for Evra. It's so late and I still don't have the money. Ask the little girl in the fishing village. Yes, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. The victim's tattoos. Ask another about the tattoo's possible meaning. Who else can tell me about this? Reality, the strike at the harbor, the pines.
Of course. Anything to help.
Yes, we've asked her everything there is. Did you know him?
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news.
There's gotta be something I am missing here. It should be in my inventory, maybe? Is it? Here. Oh, it's in the map. Dice maker, mirror, slipping dock worker. I believe that's a missed opportunity over there. Sealang. We can ask Manny of Sealing! But my rhetoric is not particularly great. Barbell ice cream? What's with the barbell? I don't remember this one. Ice cream maker, we have to go there. Measurehead. Titus. I'm trying to scroll down if you don't mind. Call me mañana. Maybe we've done everything there is to do with Joyce. Kim, I don't want to say goodnight just yet. I don't. But I might have to. Well, I desperately search for these 2 extra real in order to pay guard for the night. Who else can we talk to? Who else? Oh, the lorry driver's not here any longer. And we haven't found a sad song. We have not. Can we, like, quickly do the, the thing? You know, open the door and, Man, I really don't want to do this job for Everard. I really don't. He said it would be around here somewhere. The body is still here, Jesus. Maybe this is the one? Have to go around it. Come, Kim! I know it's in the middle of the night, but bear with me, buddy. I mean, we were there just a minute ago. I've decided I'm going to ask Manny of Sealang. Sealang, help! Oh shit, he's not here any longer. I'm boned. I'm ultra boned. Well then. Is there anybody else who can give me money? What's this? Scribbled between the thighs of a page 3 girl. L'origine? L'origine what? L'origine something. I could put Kim to sleep and keep searching for bottles. Oh god, you're working overtime?
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Are
and the
you
money appears
kidding
with
me?
a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man.
Are you serious? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Alright, Kim, let's go pay that son of a bitch. That freaking capitalist pig.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight?
Got the 20 real?
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting my time? And yours? Another thing. Great. I love those.
I never asked him about this. So the phone line is dead.
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Is it true that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonorable.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill. Yes?
Oh, God. Kim, I bet you want to retire for the day? Is this the girl? No, that's not the girl.
Does anybody have a coin to spare?
Shit. He's not going to bed?
Yes?
Maybe this is the Aces High thing? I want to talk about you.
What about me?
Kim, you're wearing a Revolutionary Air Brigade jacket, aren't you?
What? This? It's just seasonal clothing.
And those look like airman pants. Good for storing tools in.
Where is this going?
Oh, God. You see, Kim, I have this place in my head where I develop new ideas and connections.
Interesting. I think it's called the brain.
Yes, I do have one of those. I think.
It's no mere brain.
Oh, God. No, normal people don't have this. It's like a mind laboratory, a spiritual R&D division. No, a palette. No, better yet, a painter's atelier of concepts.
Okay, art cup.
Okay, indeed, and in this atelier I have realized that you harbor some kind of sentiment toward the Revolutionary Air Brigades.
I do not harbor a sentiment for Revolutionary Air Brigades in particular.
Just air brigades, then?
Okay, I wanted to become an aerostatic pilot. Then I turned 10 and realized we no longer have an air force.
Are you sure the Revolutionary has got nothing to do with this?
Absolutely nothing.
The Revolutionary must have added a little luster to it for a 10-year-old Kitsuragi. He will never admit it, though.
Maybe we don't want to go there. Okay, thank you. My mind is satisfied.
Good.
You're wearing glasses. What the fuck? Tell me a secret about yourself?
No.
Oh.
The lieutenant nods.
Good.
Don't you, like, want to go to bed or something? Or perhaps you want to have that smoke out here? Oh, God. I need to find 7 cents. It's essential. Otherwise, we're not going to bed tonight. We're stuck here forever.
The door is closed.
And it will stay closed. For now. I'm not making as much money as I expected. In my own defense, I did go ahead and buy like a bunch of books a couple 2 days. Oh, good lord. Kim, I guess we're going to the north for a little bit. Hope you don't mind. Thing is, it's super late and nobody, not a single soul is going to be out here talking to us. Which is fine, don't get me wrong, but listen here. All I need is 7 cents. I'm desperate. Any containers? Anything at all, please. Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. The walker? That has to be me. The underside of the boat has recently been tarred. Yes. Quick travel unlocked. I'm sorry? There is someone here. Oh my lord. Money, 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 money. But who's this? She knows we're from the RCM. Or he. I can't really tell. I think it's a lady. What are these doing in the fish? Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. Perception. Oh, yeah.
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from the hip.
Anything I can help you with?
As always, I am the lawbringer.
You've graduated to lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything.
She waves you off.
So what brings you here, lawbringer?
Oh shit! What is that now? I gotta know. Hey, so a little observation? It's all cool, man. Don't freak out. But every time you say, I am the law, and you say it a lot, it's basically hello for you. Your jaw does this weird thing, sort of shifts sideways, hanging off your face at a jaunty angle, while the word law sounds oddly guttural and low. The law. It's strange. You wouldn't notice it, but after saying you're the law 80,000 times, the question does come up. Why do you have a law jaw? The fuck is this? Weird jaw. I don't even know if this is good or not. -1 rhetoric. We'll look into this in time. That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Nice sword. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Hold on, do you know how to use it?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
What do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Oh no. Oh no. I have to. Will this bring the expression back on my face? On my portrait? I don't know, but I have to. Behold! Point to the expression on your face. Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Can I borrow that sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check? You would put me in an early grave.
So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed.
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
Your expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
He disappeared! Sounds like a missing persons case.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
Was he murdered? Oh, God. Oh. Say no more. Wait for her to continue.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
It's healthy to let go and move on. My God, you should have thrown yourself in the waves after him. Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what looks like rocks. It's 11 p.m. and your children are playing with rocks?
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Electrochemistry, what are you doing?
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Kim's presence makes it awkward. Don't know a good spot yet. Explore the coast. What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
What else?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine.
Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Walking on the beach sounds quite romantic. Interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass, Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once.
Have you by any chance found any, let's say, real?
Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
Did you just say, bottles and, drugs?
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Drugs! I need info on this, Major Narc. I need to know about those human bodies.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch.
So I take it that's your skiff.
Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
A working class husband.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
The husband is not for me. I'm looking for him, for his wife.
Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you.
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist. Let's go with this one. People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Wait, the like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
-6. Don't know a good spot yet. I'll be seeing ya. So many sexy people around these parts lately. This boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. Something tells me Kim is falling apart at this time. Wonder if there's another place we can stay. That'd be lovely. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed. That's a French song. I don't remember what it's called.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Oh, what if I don't want to? Lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so cool and I want to say it. Oh, but it's so awkward. What he said, we're cops. We don't cause trouble, we take care of people.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
What kind of an ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
I am an ill omen, all right.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
I was talking about myself, Kim, not you.
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others.
About my motor carriage, I don't think I need any better parking spot than the one I already found.
Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Oh, please. Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave.
I need a place to sleep.
That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Did you say free? Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. Don't know if I can afford another place to stay.
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
There's this guy, Gagt, who make me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold. Wait, hold on. You're just giving it to me?
No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there.
I'm not sure it's appropriate for the RCM to accept free accommodations.
Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth.
Wait, why isn't anyone using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
One more time. I can just have the room.
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
It would help me stay in touch with the proletariat. Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't need much. This sounds just fine.
An uncomplicated man. I take it that means you're interested.
You got yourself a tenant.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the place.
A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room.
Finally, you have those lame-os of Martinez off your back, Bratan. This looks like a great place to bring chicks.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
What else is on down... Wait, I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time. Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing.
Elysium or mysteries. What else is on down coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then, apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Would want to come to a fish market here?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it. There's gotta be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. We will be back to this. For now, I need to sleep. Is this my room? What will happen to Kim? Is he going to bed?
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Unlock the door.
I'll be sleeping in my room in the whirling. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Good night, baby. Okay. Perfect timing. Let's take a small break, and I will see you all in the next episode of Disco Elysium. Until then, thank you everybody for watching. Have fun, whatever you do. Take care of yourselves, and do not forget, keep on gaming. I'll see you all next time.